We are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty when you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Rodgers going to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Returnable for Grant. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Okay, ready? 90, wolf. Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Saquon Barkley, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley, touchdown number 15 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into a bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
5 plays there on that drive. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league in and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up the 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
If there's ever such a thing as a downside to such a nice drive, it's that we didn't get a chance to talk about them earlier. But I would have said, keep an eye on this offensive line and let's see how it performs. And so far,
they've got his man complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the game.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go band of brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Hey, Charlie.
2nd and 11. It's caught. Smith. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They're going to look to throw. By Buying time to, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. That touchdown, Charles, the first rushing TD of his rookie year.
I don't know that he's going to be Lamar Jackson or Russell Wilson or Josh Allen at this stage of his career, but he's got youth on his side. Those young legs, he put them to good use there, didn't he?
A drive that time of 6 plays, and the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. This is fielded at the goal line, and he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And not a whole lot to speak of there, as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. To throw, it's Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Nothing the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Mackenzie Alexander in on the tackle.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On second down, it's Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They'll run on first down. Jones. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll bring up 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
This was almost what I've heard referred to as a pick 12.
Pick 12, explain.
Well, you're talking about the 6 that they were trying to get.
Because they were so close to the end zone.
And now the 6 going the other direction. So when you take a look at teams on the march, they're in the red zone. Then after the interception, and it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep them from going all the way.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. This is Barkley. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
2nd and 9 now. And that'll be incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley. But now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that. One needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Here we go, here we go.
Back to throw here. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 2nd and a yard, Rodgers, and he finds his tight end, Graham. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Rodgers now on first down. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, he was trying to find Equinemius St. Brown, and that'll make it 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Let's go.
A very solid gain of 27. Well, last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Rodgers now on first down. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Now a draw play. This is Jones. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing on second down. Rodgers. The connection made. It's Graham. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's in. Complete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Marr able to put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. A big play there just before halftime. 48 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll get Into the end zone, touchdown, Minnesota. Chris Godwin, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the second quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
I don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It's just that they know their talents and they know the type of plays they can make, and they can make big ones. They want the ball to help their team.
Now you got to think he's going to want the ball more. One target, no catches. Rodgers now to throw. It's caught here by Adams. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 39.
First down, Packers.
So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time.
And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend of the NFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They clinched the top spot, so the road to the Super Bowl, it runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the #1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out and being really impressive down the stretch.
Absolutely. And you want to take looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off is J.J. Wilcox. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Here's Rodgers on third down. And he finds Beasley complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
But just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. from Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of 2. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now it's Rodgers, and Graham's got it. Complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Yeah, try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. A nice toss play there to the left. More than enough room to move the chains.
And you know what I love about that play as a broadcaster? Seeing the big guys move. Seeing them get upfield and take out defenders. You know what I hated as a defensive back? That exact same thing. Seeing those linemen coming downfield, getting ready to blot out the sun.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got Smith here. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr. his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive, interception. This drive, the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounced back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's Jones. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it.
They'll run with Barkley. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellows got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now left side on the swing pass. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. That'll be complete to Cook. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll look to throw again. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 3 here in this game, and 17 now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers, and the grab by Cross. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, here we go.
They'll go again to Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
There you go.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And you can see where they sit, perched right at the top. The question, Charles, with a perfect season they have going, what's on the line, how do you see them playing it out these final few weeks of the season?
So I can see the locker room voting unanimously to play to win. That's how they're built. It doesn't matter whether you're 0 whatever or undefeated. You want to play every game to win it. But I think from a management and coaching standpoint, you're looking at it and saying how much pressure is on this team to try and keep that record going, and is that really our ultimate goal? They're almost hoping
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dean Lowry in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd. Waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Back to throw here. He's got it complete. To Stephon Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this one complete to Smith. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. But they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And this one caught by Beasley. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Here's Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Throwing again on second down. Rodgers, the connection made. It's Graham. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Rodgers now on first down. Complete to Jones. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Off the draw, here's Williams. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. One final try now for Rodgers. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Let's go.
Here we go, here we go. 60 or.
Watch QB drop. Let's go, Mike.
Get it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got a man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.